guys, and welcome to my crib. This is the second part of the series How to Go Pro, and this one will be in English though, because the last one was in German, and my streams are always in German, and I just don't want my international caverinos to feel let out, and that's why I decided to just do it in English. Today I'll talk about how to get recognized by professional gamers. I'll split up the video in 3 parts though, just because it's a bit easier. So the first part is about, if you're already challenger, how to impress those players and how they can remember your name. The second part will be about how to behave and practice hard in an amateur team or play the challenger series. And the third part is how to maintain your spot in an LCS team. Let's go ahead. I have 3 big tips for you when you're playing Zoologio and challenger. So the first one is to stay always positive, even if your matchup is not going too well, even if the team is annoying you or they are writing a lot of bad stuff in the chat. Really stay calm and just don't comment it, and try the best you can. And if something good happens afterwards, you say good job, you cheer your team up. The second big tip is to show your skill. That means to know when you have to engage as a bruiser, as a tank, to know when to disengage, when to put the ward somewhere, where to move on the map, and that includes, of course, as well to know his matchup, to know your matchup, and really to have just a good showing every game you play with a professional gamer. That's really an important part. If the professional player knows, okay, on this player I can count every game, he will just have your name in his mind. So basically, every time you are playing Zoologio, it's more like if you're a challenger already, you have to really try your best every game. The third big tip I can give you is to really stay in the meta, because professional players, they will just see if the guy plays, okay, Tryndamere, let's say, or he plays Teemo top, and he does even good, he won't care about it. But if the player is a really good, let's say for right now is a good Maokai player, or is a good Hecarim player with really good TPs, or they just play the stuff that is needed in LCS, they will remember your name just because this guy is following the meta, this guy is following the stuff we are actually practicing right now as well, and he knows how to play it really well. So if you see something in LCS, something new, you have to practice it and you have to master it. That's your goal basically if you wanna impress an LCS player or a professional gamer. So now that you joined an amateur team or a challenger series team, because you cannot just expect to join an LCS team instantly. We have the scenario that you will join an amateur team now and then challenger series team. You have to behave in this team. You have to, as well as in Zoologio, you just take it from Zoologio to a team. You behave really good. You have a positive attitude. You cheer your team up if something good is happening, or if you win a team fight, you shout with them in TeamSpeak, and that's the way that you will improve as well as a player. You will grow as a player, but also the team will like you, and it's just a better atmosphere in the team. Afterwards, you have to, of course, practice hard. You have to practice even harder than you did before when you wanted to join a team. So more Zoologio, you have to really focus on the practice as well. So you have countless of hours spent for the team and for Zoologio to practice your skill and to practice your team skill. So afterwards, you have to check your replays. You have to watch your replay as you have to watch your replays with the team. Just tell them, hey guys, let's watch your replay. It will help us. It will improve us, and you just do it. Even if they don't want it, you will do it for yourself, because at some points it doesn't really matter what your team will do, because you have to look at yourself as well. That's important part. If you are in an amateur and a challenger series team which is playing on big streams as well from Riot, you have to look at yourself as well. You have to really care about what your stats are as well, because people actually, they say, okay, stats don't matter, but they will look at the end. This guy was 0-7, and they will just look at the stats and then they were, okay, meh. That doesn't mean you have to be an Anzolo player, okay? So it doesn't mean that you have to do everything Zolo. You have to play really passive so you don't get deaths. No, it's actually the opposite side. You have to play really aggressive, not really aggressive, but you have to show that you can engage, you have to show that you have even balls to do something and to take even the initiate. So, the third part is the part where you actually impressed everyone in your amateur team. You played in the Challenger Series. It didn't sadly maybe work out for you, for the team, but you showed yourself to the public, to the community, and to the pro players as well. So you have now a past of playing in the Zoology really good. You have you kind of built up your name in Zoology as well, and you played really well in the challenger scene. You showed them you're there, and you stayed always positive. You were always really nice, and you showed them your skill as well. Now you joined your LCS team. You are finally there. You made it. You have to put twice the work, so you have to watch way more replays. You have to analyze your replays way more, and of course play way more solo queue, and still have the time to be really focused in the team practice. Of course there are negative sides as well of the pro being, because there's a lot of pressure on you and you have a lot of stress as well. So there is the thing, when you're a positive player and you are just really kind to everyone, it will help your stay in an LCS team, because the team, you will be like a family, and that's really important, I think. Right now there's a lot of teams, I think, that have either some players that dislike themselves, and which is really not good for the health in a team. So as a good and a really nice player, you will have that good atmosphere in your team, and you will have a lot of fun playing in such a team then. Of course, if you joined an LCS team, then you have to show this team then that you really are ready to give up everything, which not lots of people maybe might do, but you really have to give up everything. You have to move to the gaming house, you have to stay there all the time in a split, and you have to work your ass off. You have to do still shootings, you have to do interviews, you have to do all that kind of stuff, which I will go in a other video as well, more insight. I'll bring more insight to you. So even though I just gave you these big tips, it's not like it was the same for me all the time, because it's not. This is basically the best scenario you can have. I didn't have it like that as well. I had my struggles, a lot of struggles. My best time was in SK, where we were a family and we had our fun. We always did positive and stuff like that. But of course there were bad sides as well, because I just couldn't give up that much. I was one of the persons that couldn't just live in a gaming house for 3 months without my family, without my friends, and so it's really depending on the person which is joining a LCS team. So as you see, I wasn't perfect either. For example, the situation with Elements and me, they're just coming up. They're just situations that come up sooner or later, where you have to decide what you want to do. And for me, it was, for example, more important, or it was basically already the decision was made, and I got surprised by Elements to actually join this team. So I still took the decision to go to Africa and to help the kids, etc. So it's really always, I think it will never be such a perfect scenario where everything will happen perfectly and you will just have always no stress, no pressure, no missing a person or stuff like that feelings. This is the perfect transition for my next episode, which will be the struggles of a pro player. I hope you are excited for that video, and I hope you really like this video as well. Give me some good feedback, and of course, thumbs up. Okay, bye. See ya. See ya. See ya. Ich weiß nicht, ob eins davon gut wird. Das ist voll awkward, weil das ist halt so ein langer Weg. So. Boah, ich bin fast gegengerannt. Nein, das ist alles kacke. Ich hab keinen Bock mehr, ey. Das wird schwer. Das wird richtig schwer. Kein Mist mehr. Okay, Mann.